If you've ever thought saving money is unrealistic, well, this video is for you. This is more than just saving money. It's about changing your mindset, building the systems, knowing that you're capable, finding the balance to pay yourself first, create purpose with your savings, and build your days so that you can be 1% better through budgeting, practicing, and so much more. And you will become, with these intentional habits, exactly the version of yourself who can save $10,000 a year. Now, I want to remind you that we're all on our own journey. We're all on our own path. I'm not a financial advisor. I am just giving financial advice based off information and knowledge that I've had in my life. If you have any questions about money or struggle with money, please talk to an accountant, a financial advisor, or someone who can help you get out of your situation. But today, I want to help you become the version of yourself who feels financially free, who feels like their best self, and the person who can show up as this person who feels fulfilled with their money in every aspect of life. It's not just about your savings, it's about how you're showing up for your life on the day-to-day so that you can live a life that feels successful to you. So welcome back to Balance While Blooming. My name is Bridget. I'm 27 years old. I'm a wife, a stepmom. I work a full 9 to 5 and try to balance my purpose with my passions and find the most fulfilling and successful self that I can be through this balance, believing, building, blooming, and becoming that we talk about here at Balance While Blooming. And here I try to inspire you, hold you accountable, and really support you along your journey. As I've already said, we're all on our own journey, we're on our own path, and we're all writing our own story. And I want to remind you that anything and everything is possible. You just need to figure out how it's going to work out for you, what your life is going to look like, and how you can show up for your best self today. So today we are talking about saving, budgeting, really sinking some money so that you can save $10,000 a year. It does not matter if you are low income, high income. It's really about the habits, the mindset, and how you're building your days, because I want to remind you that we are a middle to high income family, but we're dual income. So that's really hard to say. In the area that we live, we're actually more to the middle low end because we live in a high spending area, but at the same time, we're able to save and sink $10,000 a year. That sounds really realistic for two people, but I want to remind yourself that you can do it too. It's only $192 a week or $834 a month. So figuring out how we can do that is how we're going to show up as our best selves. So let's jump right in how the Believe to Become system actually helped me with our finances over the last 3 years as we've been talking about money in this channel on and off, and how that we are working towards our financial freedom to be able to buy the house that we've bought, 2 new cars. Obviously they were used but new to us. We have been in and out of financial debt, and this is kind of the framework that I use to be able to see the success bloom into the person that we want to be and live this life that is making our dreams become a reality. It's really important to know that money is not everything, but it is something that is going to help you in your day-to-day life for you to feel successful, worthy, and even happy because you're not struggling. So let's talk about the strategies. Let's talk about what you can do, and let's dive into our mindset. We're not doing this for hustle, burnout, or perfection. We're doing this for the systems that work in our day-to-day life. So remember that you're going to have to believe in it, you're going to have to build it, you're going to have to find balance in it to bloom it and become this person. Saving isn't about the restriction, it's about knowing your self-worth and how to realistically prove to yourself that you can follow through for yourself and what you want in the long run. The first part of this system is always believing. This is believing that you are capable of saving this $10,000. It's all about the mindset shift, how you need to not think about your income alone, but the habits that you have. You need to stop waiting for a raise or the perfect budget or more discipline and start with clarity, systems, and consistency right now. Reframe from I'm bad with money to I'm learning to manage my money intentionally. and that you can bloom 1% at a time. Again, it's only $192 a week. What does that look like? How can we chip away from that? Am I saying that every month is going to have that strategy where you can do $834 a month? No, every month is going to look different. But if you can't believe in it, that you can go with $10 a day or $20 a day or even $5 a day to transition a coffee into your savings, then you're not going to get there. So remember that raise is always something that you should be looking for, but it's not guaranteed. The perfect budget will never have that. There's months that we save $2,000 to catch up, and there's months that we don't save at all. So it's really finding that balance of where you need to be, but you need to get clear on exactly what this 10K means to you, the systems that you're going to have to create, and the consistency of what that's going to look like for your life. Now, I get paid bi-weekly, my husband gets paid weekly, so we have different systems and different ways that we have to do that for our budget, because there are some weeks that we get double paychecks, and then there's some weeks that we have only one paycheck. Now, I am the breadwinner in our family, so we do rely more on paying the bills through my paycheck. So his paycheck is also hourly, mine's salaries. Every 2 weeks, I know exactly what I'm getting, so we know exactly what we're going to do, so we focus on that towards our bills. Now, that being said, my husband has good months, bad months, anywhere in between, depending on the hours that they have. It does fluctuate throughout the year. He is a great worker. He could show up more, but his business, he's part-time, and he makes full-time pay. He makes our benefits. He does all of these things, but that does not mean that we can rely on the stability if we're just waiting for a good month or if we're waiting for it. We need to know that no matter what comes in, we can budget it, we can schedule it, and we can pay ourselves first. And that's what we're going to dive into, is paying yourself first as a non-negotiable. This needs to be your foundation of who you are building. Let's talk about what paying yourself even means. It means savings becomes a non-negotiable even before you spend or pay your bills. So it needs to practically become automatic. So for us, we are kind of going into a different money mindset and a different action, but all through 2025, we were moving exactly the same amount every single time as if it was a bill to pay our savings. For sinking funds, which we'll talk about in the future, for buckets and all of that, we'll talk about that soon, but we need to have a separate account that nobody sees and that it's harder to access, and it doesn't go towards our credit cards, does not go towards anything. It is just like a savings fund for future you. Create it as a bill. Give yourself an invoice and say every single week or every 2 weeks we are paying ourselves. I do recommend putting this in a high yield savings account where you move the savings, because it will work for you. In your checking account, you get like 0.0001%. Now, in a high yield savings account, it's usually somewhere between 3 to 4%, depending on the account that you have. We use Ally Bank. That's just what we use. I really trust them. I think that they have a good system, and we have our car loan through them. So I think it's really good for us to have a connection with a bank that is online, that we can just hide away. We don't have a debit card. We don't have anything for them. And it's a separate account that creates that clarity and the peace of mind that it's there and it's going to be there. Now, I also want you to pay yourself first as more than just for emergencies or just for savings. We're going to find that balance. Let's talk about emergency funds, and then we'll talk about the sinking funds for freedom and happiness and creating that balance. So first off, your money needs to have boundaries, just like everything else. They need to have areas of life. They need to have different buckets. They need to know what they're for. Now, our checking account is for our bills, our home, all of those things that are our day-to-day, like monthly expenses, such as our internet, such as our utilities, as our rent. All of that stays in our checking account. Now, in our savings account, we have two main accounts. We have an emergency fund and an other. In our emergency fund, this is all for peace of mind that if something was to happen, we have an emergency fund. Now, this protects your mental health. It is not just a bank account. It gives you the freedom to know if a big life experience happens. I really start with your emergency fund being $1,000. Then from there, you want to focus on 3 to 6 months of expenses. If you've ever watched a budget with me, I have not done them in a while, but maybe I should start. Our monthly expenses are about $3,000. So if we were going to do $3,000 times 3 is $9,000. So right now our goal is $10,000 in our emergency fund. We're about to hit that. So that means we can look at a different area of life. And then once we get all of our areas of life, such as debt and other things, we are going to focus on 6 months of expenses. But for right now, I feel really at ease that if something was to happen to one of our jobs, we have a few months of expenses to figure it out, catch back up, and have any big emergency come, we aren't struggling in that month. So it's also important to remember that this could be for a flat tire, for a car breakdown, for a water leak in your house, for a something. It could be any emergency that you can honestly think of. What is not an emergency is you needing to go spend money. You have a rainy day fund for when you're feeling sad and need to go shopping. No, this is for legit emergencies that you need to pay for in the moment and you have to live or die. So think about it that way, not for little things that may just make you feel emotionally better. Yes, it is a peace of mind, but make sure you're using it correctly. Now, for the fun rainy days, for that travel, holidays, for us, we also do our big payments at the end of the year, such as insurance, as our yearly subscriptions, all of those. These are our savings where I know that they're coming from. So first is travel for us. Second is our home projects. Third is our insurance. Those are the main three that are in our other category. And then we obviously have an other just in case for anything else. This is called a sinking fund. We pay ourselves first for this as well. Every single month it changes and we go around saying where our money's going to go when we pay ourselves first into what sinking fund for that month. So again, we have travel, we have insurance, and we have home projects. Towards the end of the year, when we have a little bit more income, we also do for holidays, birthdays, and everything like that, because towards the end of the year, it's everyone's birthday, there's holidays, it's craziness. And this prevents overspending and guilt because you are enjoying life because you've saved for it. And this is another thing. Really find the balance when you're saving the $10,000 to say part of that $10,000 is for my future best self. It's for that vacation I want to go on. This is for the holidays I want to spend. This is for the project I want to do, where it's a bigger expense and you are saving with purpose so that you are not going into a new month or a new day saying, I am going to go on this trip and you don't have the money saved. It gives you this relaxation. You feel like you're not stealing from money that you have secured for something else, and it gives you the balance to just really enjoy life. But how can we start saving for these is budgeting daily and finding that way of the balance in your day-to-day life by building your days for success and blooming 1% every single day with intentional actions. What are we going to do? Let's talk about it. So first, we need to think about our budgeting day to day. Budgeting is telling yourself where your money's going to go. I have a bunch of budget videos on my page. If you want to see how I'm budgeting currently in 2026, drop it in the comments. I will let you know. And you also need to know where there's permission versus punishment of where your money is going to go. I like to do a zero-based budget at the beginning of the month. I lowball our money so that we know exactly where we're going and we put value to every single category, from groceries to rent, to our savings, to our debt payments, to our sinking funds, saving funds, everything like that, and giving yourself a little bit of a spending budget as well, because you need to have limits for not only for what you want to save, but what you're going to do in this current month. And that's where you're going to kind of find that balance and check in weekly with yourself so that you don't just spiral at the end of the month saying, oh crap, I'm in the red. What am I going to do? You need to really think about the daily spending. You need to think about being aligned with what matters most to you. We have subscriptions. We have over $200 sometimes in subscriptions. My husband has a beer subscription. I like to have my nutrients, vitamins, all of that. We like our TV subscriptions. It goes with our podcast. I feel like it's justified to watch TV. So we have those, and that's okay. But it's aligned with who we want to be. And we say yes to what is aligning with our future self and no to what is no longer serving us. And we need to protect that spending limit so that we can still save, but we can still live that life. We're going to talk about progress over perfection. $10,000 is a huge number. Cut it down to maybe $25 a month or $50 a month. You may not hit the 10K in the first year. That's okay. It's really doing it one step at a time, and you just need to cut that one unnecessary expense. Redirect that one habit of when you want a coffee or you want to go out to dinner, that you take that money and put it into savings and be like, you know what? Today, instead of going out to dinner, we are going to put that $100 almost for us because we get drinks, we get appetizers, we have nice entrees. It's about $60 to $100. Can we put that into savings instead and go on a really nice dinner and travel and enjoy ourselves for a whole week instead of one night? So really think about changing your mindset and outlook and possibilities of the opportunities that your money can give you. Normalize that some months are going to be slower and some months are going to be more. In December is my husband's busiest month. I usually get a pay raise and we get to not only save more, but pay off debt and be able to look towards our future self. I am not going into debt on this, but it is important that you focus on your $10,000 needs to be thought about as a number that is realistic for you. I want you to know that you can become this person who saves $10,000, but if you're just going to financially think of what secures the best version of yourself, what does that look like? And this is where I want to talk about debt. I don't want to dive into this because we're talking about savings, but maybe $10,000 is not the number for you. Maybe it is that you make your net worth $10,000. So you pay a little bit extra to your debt and you save less. Maybe your goal is to pay down your debt $5,000 and gain your savings account to $5,000. I also want to remind you that debt is something that can work for you and against you. So I want you to say to yourself, what would financially secure this best version of myself? How can I plan ahead? How can I keep the promises to myself? How can I show up for every single goal that I want to set? And what if $10,000 is not the end goal for me? What if it's just creating those systems, creating those habits, and showing up as the person who would save $10,000? But instead, I'm going to put it towards my debt. Instead, I'm going to invest in myself into my 401k or my Roth IRA. All of these are ways that you can save $10,000. I want to remind you that it is important that you open the account, automate that transfer, and start today. But that you know that overall, bringing down your debt is just like saving. Because once you pay off that debt, that payment becomes your new savings account. That is something that you can automate in the future. So if you want to get rid of $10,000 of debt, do this the same way. Pay yourself first, pay your debt off, make sure that you have your emergency fund first. And then go and pay off your debt instead of those sinking funds. Figure out how you can balance it for you to have the mindset as someone who can save and invest and pour into themselves $10,000 this year. We all start with nothing. We all can get somewhere. Don't judge your day 1 to my day 100. And remember, whatever your saving goal this year, I want to inspire you, uplift you, and support you and hold you accountable. Are you going to work towards your emergency fund, maxing that out 6 months? Or are you going to start with that 3-month goal and start sinking to live your best life? You're capable to handle your finances and do it one decision at a time. You have everything that you need. And I hope that you guys go on this journey of progress with money. This is a tough situation. It is something that you need to become the person who is bold enough to talk about it, brave enough to save it, and balanced enough to know what aligns. And you need to become that person because you believe in her. You've built it. You're blooming. Because I believe in you that in the next, if not this year, by next year, you can save $10,000. But start working on the habits today. Start paying yourself first and figure out how you can handle your finances for your best self. Start with that new account, automate that first transfer, and I cannot wait to see where you are in a year. Let me know what other finance videos you guys want to see. This one was a little bit all over the place. I had an outline and then I started just flowing because I think it's important for people to know that saving $10,000 and making that your net worth, there's so much more. There's debt, there's investing, there's so many ways to grow your assets. And yes, your emergency funds matter. Yes, saving $10,000 is going to make you feel successful, happy, and fulfilled. But make sure your goals are aligning with you. And here at Balanced While Blooming, we want to support you on your journey. Join this community, follow me over on Instagram, and let's continuously support and uplift each other because we're all on our own journey, on our own path, and we're believing, building, balancing, blooming, and becoming one day at a time. And I will see you guys soon. Bye, guys.